Well, hi, everybody. It's Carla Archer and Marla 𝗪𝗶𝗹 here. Hi, Marla.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. And we've teamed up today to bring you a live video about using StreamYard. Now, I heard about StreamYard through Marla because I had some issues with my Zoom account. I turned to a Chromebook to use a Chromebook and quickly found that Zoom was only available to me in an application form, which didn't allow me at the time to save my videos. I couldn't do a live video on Facebook, and I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then I saw Marla had entered the contest to win to go to conference when we were having conference. And she had this really cool program and she had a logo in the corner and all this stuff. So I said, what are you using there? And she hooked me up with StreamYard. So Marla, how long have you been using StreamYard for?
So I'm not even too sure I remember the months now because I've been at home so long. Yeah. But I pretty much had it since the end of December, 1st of January. And I have some friends who have coaching businesses and they like to bring people in and interview. And one of them started using it. She has a program called Diet Terminator. And I said, oh, that looks so slick. You know, how do you do that? And so she told me about it and how to use it. And it's very easy to self-learn.
It really is. And that's what's great about it. You know, they have different levels where you can purchase different things where you can have, but the beginner level is awesome. It's free and it's super easy to use, right? So yes. What we're going to do today is just some StreamYard basics. You would go to StreamYard.com and access an account, and Marla and I both posted links so you can click on one of those if you so desire, and that's going to route you to StreamYard where you can set up your free account. And then from there, once you log in, and every time you go to log in, they ask you for your email address and then they email you a code, which is kind of nice. So it keeps it really good and secure. And Marla's going to share her screen and we're going to show you what you would see after that point then, and just tour you around a little bit and give you some of the basics.
All right, so can you see my screen? Are we in? No, I haven't shared the screen.
Not yet, no.
I thought I had, but let's see if I can pick the right one here. You have it now?
Perfect, yes.
All right.
Excellent. So what's great about this platform too is that you can interview up to 6 people on the screen at a time, and you can have 4 in the background waiting, and you can bring people in and out of the interview, which is really, really easy to do and allows you that flexibility to have a lot of people on. But we're going to start first when you would first start with your account, and Marla's going to show you how you would set up your destinations for your live streams, because this is what this platform is all about.
Right. So let me just show you before, and then I'll go backwards. So when I create a broadcast, I have options in here for my Facebook page, for my a different group page, my Vitality Team Vox Life page, and then my YouTube page. Right. And how I got that done is I went into destinations, and it came up, and I can come over here and I can add a destination. And it asks, do I want a Facebook page? So I have some other pages, so then it connects me to Facebook. And then it'll bring up my options. I used to sell biomats. This is my just my opinion page on how to be resilient. And then I have my Vox Life distribution page. I've already got the one that I want out of that group in my list. So you can see it's connected. So we I realize it. I just popped it out.
Okay, no problem.
It's like,
that's okay. We'll go back.
Click here, click there, click everywhere.
Well, that's the great thing about this program too, is that it's really user friendly. Now, the groups that Marla was talking about, you have to be an admin of the group to be able to connect to that. So that's one thing. So it's going to show you.
It's not sharing again. So hang on, I'm coming in. I'm diving deep for more instructions.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay, so right now we're not yet seeing your StreamYard account.
Well, so it's clicking out and it's pulling up yours. So I'm going to go back in. I'm having a little bit of a challenge here.
No problem.
So let me get into this.
But it is really nice that you're able to either share the screen yourself, or it does have that functionality like Zoom where whoever you're talking with has the option to share their screen too. So
right.
I'm going to click there as the host, and okay.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get to the right one.
No problem. So what I would recommend when you start off, we were talking about destinations, is select as many destinations as you think you may use. It's easier to do it ahead of time than go in and add some later, although the instructions are provided for you and it is a fairly simple process to go through. One thing I learned about YouTube is that it takes about 24 hours for you to get permission and the connection between StreamYard and YouTube to be able to post a live video there. So if you're thinking you want to do something and you want to do it right away on YouTube, just know that you have to plan ahead. So best to just register your YouTube page right away if you have one on the go.
It keeps kicking it out, so I'm not sure I understand the why.
Okay.
But do you have it? It's there now. Maybe you share it because it's kicking out from my side.
Okay, no problem. I'll see if I can share my, oh, I see it now again.
Okay, sorry about that.
You're back.
Yeah.
So back on destinations.
Okay, so let's go back and I'll click that button again for destinations. And obviously I have the 4 I want, but I've got add a destination and there's some more. So if anybody has a YouTube channel, you can do that. You can even post in LinkedIn, but I believe there's a few more little hoops you need to jump through if you're savvy with LinkedIn and you have a page on LinkedIn, and that's another whole conversation.
Yeah.
Then you can do some of that.
So with the free program that you would sign up for, you get the option to stream to one of these places at a time. As you go up in the levels, the pro version we have, we can select 2 places, and the top package is 5 locations at what time. So that would mean that your video would be going live in all of those locations at once. You would be getting comments from them as well, and you can see the interaction from those multiple sources of locations. Now that may seem a little bit more high tech than maybe you want to go. That's okay. You can just go with that free version again and just be streaming to the one location.
But let me explain one thing too when they're choosing Carla, once they feel comfortable with what they're doing. I record live to my Facebook profile and to YouTube channel. Now on the YouTube channel, you're going to have a link that is shareable. So if you're doing some marketing materials and you want to send them out in some of your emails, your newsletters, post them on Messenger, that's going to live longer, your YouTube channel link. And so that's really the one you want. And then people aren't always having to scroll through your feed to find your recent live. And then I post a profile because that's where I personally have my largest audience. I have 2,500 connections, and so I'm hoping that that gets me the bigger audience. And so that's another reason to always have a YouTube channel, is that it's going to give you that URL that's easy to share.
Yeah, that's a really great point, Marla, especially if you are going with the free version. I too would recommend, using your YouTube channel, because that gives you way more flexibility with that broadcast than it would just going to Facebook.
Right. And then just one thing that we didn't show you, but when you go into broadcast, when it said, well, we're going there next, so I'll let you make sure this is where we want to go, Carla.
Okay. Keep going. Next banner, creating a broadcast.
So when we create a broadcast, notice that you can see 4 images there, so I can pick the groups I want, but I can also say skip and record only. So if someone wants to, so I'm going to do that one first, and you can put your title in and create the broadcast. And now you can come in if you're just wanting to teach something. Maybe you would like to come down and teach people about the new product we have. You just want to get it out to your team. So I can just come in, I can enter the broadcast studio, and I'm going to come back over this, but I'm going to pop my picture into my studio, and I will just maybe start recording what it is I would like to educate them on and make it a 5-minute video. And then I can stop and see, did I like what I said, before I record it on my YouTube channel to send them the link. So I'm going to go back. That was a fast overview.
So just, Marla, just even for my own information there, when you hit the record button, is that records it for you? Are you then able to share it from that place, or is it just as a practice for yourself?
I have the choice of doing that. It's going to save as a MP4 on my computer.
Okay.
But the thing is sometimes people can pick those up or not. So this is almost TMI, so I'm going off in a rat hole here.
We might have another actual training just on that too.
Right. When you go to YouTube, you have the chance. So let me just do it this way. Let's create a broadcast. I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to put in my Carla Marla as the description. And let's and now I have a choice down here for YouTube only to make it public, unlisted, or private. Private only I can see. Public everybody can see. Unlisted is if I wanted to do a special training. I wanted to say, hey, Carla, I want to run through this program beforehand, do a recording. So I can come in here, I can create the broadcast, I can do the recording. I now have a YouTube link that only the people I send it to can see.
Okay.
So I can use YouTube as my storage place. If people go into my channel, they can't pull it up. I am the only person who can pull up that URL and then send it to somebody. And so I could just do a special training for someone that's got an unusual client base, or they're going in to talk to a chiropractor or something like that.
Or like when you entered the contest, that's how you would have done it that way too, right?
I did. In fact, it's out there on my my site, unlisted, because I was only sending it into the Box Life review board. Yeah.
Excellent. So a couple of different options. That's an option to be able to record something that doesn't automatically go live in any of these locations. And now we're going to go back and we'll show you how to create a broadcast that you can go live through.
Right.
What I really love about StreamYard too, and we're going to get into this, is that when you get into that broadcast room, you're not live yet. So that's exciting. I really enjoy that part. So let's go back again. You're going to select.
Okay, so what Carla did yesterday is she scheduled for later, and she pulled in a thumbnail image, and I'm just going to pull one in now. Just a picture. Notice that you have a certain space on here. So if you go back to Carla's training yesterday on Canva, you will find that you can create all sorts of sizes. So StreamYard shares with you the size that you need for this. So when I use this, I post either the pictures of the speakers, I post the date and the time that I'm going to have the event, and I apply it. And now when I come down, I've got that picture. I could change it if I want to. And then we set a schedule. So we set a time. Carla scheduled hers a day in advance. Sometimes I schedule mine 2 hours in advance. And if people have subscribed to my YouTube channel, they get a notice that I'm going to go live. But anyway, so you have your choices on timing, but you can just drop in here and do one in 5 minutes because, oh my gosh, this great news just happened.
Yeah, a couple of options we'll talk about for that too. But one thing I just wanted to note that I noticed is that it is set up in my time zone. So
right.
I was setting up a broadcast announcement in Voxen Nation. I highlighted and made it very clear what was Eastern Standard Time and that this broadcast was in Central or else in Mountain Time or whatever my time zone is, because it's going to show going live at 11 a.m. when it's actually 1 in Eastern Standard Time or whatever the case may be.
Right. So we just, so it's just, you know, for all of us now, we're starting to work across time zones quite a bit. So I think it's always something we have to pay attention to.
It is for sure.
So now we have this one scheduled. And when I enter the broadcast studio,
can I just break up just for one second? Sorry, Marla. Now, if you're streaming to YouTube, which is good, but say if you did that for one of your Facebook pages, that announcement has already posted on that Facebook page at this point in time.
Correct.
So it's automatic.
Correct. It is. And if you have comments on, then people can start commenting on it, and we'll show that here in just a minute.
Right.
But the one thing you want to do when you come into your studio, it says enter the broadcast studio, and you're actually seeing my picture because I'm on live with Carla right now, so we're playing in two systems. Normally when you come in here, you're not, the camera's not going to be picking you up yet.
And you're not live yet.
Right. So what's going to happen is you're down here in this little grayed in box on the bottom left. And but what I already have is I have my new logo up for my new Solopreneur Live show in my upper screen here. But when I click on myself, then I am now in the recording I'm going to do for somebody.
Right. And still you're not live yet. Yeah. Show up in the corner there where it says go live, or else in the corner too, it'll say if you have a scheduled one, it's going to say scheduled for this time. You have so much time left until your broadcast.
Right. And I noticed that I didn't mess with the time. So it's got me counting down here. So we definitely have to stay on time so we don't go live.
Yeah. Well, you got 23 hours, 23 minutes, I think it is.
So one of the things you want to do is look at this bar down here on the bottom and come in and check, like, is my mic on or is it muted? Now notice if you accidentally hit it and it's muted, it's telling you. So you've got some fail safes. You have the opportunity to stop the camera if for some reason, and then you can start it up again. But I don't mess with either of those. I just come in ready to go. But you can check your camera. So come in sometime and make sure that you've got the camera. So some people have the computer camera and some people have a little webcam. Be sure that you're using the camera that you want if you have more than one option. Excuse me. I use just the standard definition. It seems to work for me just fine, but there are other resolutions, and if you're camera savvy, well then be my guest. Go figure out what looks better. You have the audio, and you'll notice I just use the default speakers. But I do happen to have a microphone. I have a standalone microphone. And if I ever thought I was in a position where I needed better audio, I can hook this up to use. But I'm not, I like what I have, so I'm not too worried about it. A green screen, some of you have seen that. I have not set up my green screen for a reason. But a green screen is where you see the park behind you, the waterfall behind you, or whatever else. I don't really care for those screens where you have the little shadow around your head. It's almost a little bit surreal. And so I just, I like to show my room. And so I was on a call the other day where we got some live tips on recording. And it says people feel more connected to you if they see your space. So you want to be sure your space is uncluttered. You notice Carla's office is really, really nice. I'm in my living room. My husband has his office downstairs. So I talk a lot, so I'm up here. And, but you know, I have the paintings on the wall. I try to keep my dining room table clear because I just have a big, great room. But at least people get a flavor of who I am. And now what you don't see is right behind me, I have a whole pile of papers. But it's not in the screen. So I'm not telling you to clean your house. I'm just telling you, hide it.
Well, that's what's nice too about coming into the broadcast room is that you can check all that stuff out before you get going live. So you're not, because how many times have we seen a live video and we see them like straightening things out and, you know, whatever the case may be. It's like this allows you a little bit of a more professional level to get prepared. You can meet back here, like Marla and I met in the broadcast space about 10 minutes beforehand, talked again about our presentation. So I really like the professional level of it.
Right. And as we all know, those of us who have spoken professionally before, we do know that we get to walk up to the front of the room and be calm and take that pregnant pause. And you want to treat the camera the same way. You always have an audience. I'm someone who loves to play off of all the facial expressions and the eyes in the audience. but I have gotten used to talking to the camera. And you'll notice that my eyes are going up and down a little because my camera really is right here. So if you want to make eye contact with everybody, get your computer raised so that you're looking at people straight on. Assume that you're making eye contact, because there's nothing worse than having someone look down, you're looking up their nose, whatever. Just get a straight on facial expression if you can.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's a great tip. Great tip for sure. Because a lot of us do it. And then even sometimes it's a great practice to get into, because what I've found is sometimes when I'm sharing my screen, I can't actually see my own picture. So as much as I think I'm looking at my camera, I'm really actually not. So some people.
Yeah, and actually when I did the presentation to enter the contest for the trip to Toronto, I got off and I thought, I think I looked down at my notes a whole heck of a lot. So I actually have my notes laying here. I have a stand, my computer's up at an angle, and my notes are right there laying on my keyboard, so that if I want to reference something, I can do that. And so my looking down isn't like straight down to my desk. It's at least a slant.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. So now the other thing that's going on is if we have a comment, if I've got it open for comments, well, do you have comments on your screen yet?
Well, what I was going to say is if you want to finish off on that toolbar on the bottom and just show, this is where either the host or the guest would go to share their screen, just like you did.
Right. So down here, and this is actually just another little thing we need to do some screenshots for, because if I open it up now, I'm going to conflict with your...
Yeah, this will be another training we can do. Yeah.
So this is another training, but so I can pull up any number of screens. So I could pull up a PowerPoint. I could pull up a video to play. I could pull, Carla, you did that EPUB the other day for everybody to do parties. They could pull up the EPUB within this and use that with their voice overlay, and then their picture's going to be up there. If they're recording that to YouTube, then they can do a party without having people there. Do your presentation and then send that YouTube link to their customers in an email. And then you've got the possibility of more people seeing it. So I think what's fascinating about social media is it doesn't always have to be live. We can plan our marketing tools around our marketing processes around the tools. And so people just need to ask enough questions like, well, could I do this? Could I do this? Because it's really just a staging process.
Right. And this is a great program to practice that, because you can go to that record option. And we're going to do another training where we actually will bring on that online presentations and videos and show you how to move in and out of them. This is just to kind of get you a little tour in and around here and see what's all going on.
Right. And then, like, if I had invited Carla today, I would open up this invite link before I go live. And I would send her this link it's got the numbers on it, and I can copy that and send it to her in Messenger and email or whatever. And then there's instructions for guests that you should always send. Mm-hmm. And these instructions are, you just can copy, or you can just send this link. But actually there's some challenges. This on an Android or a PC, the program works on Google Chrome. And if you are using it, it's not as easy to use on an Apple or an iOS system. But if your guest is coming in on iOS, they need to be coming in. They say they can use Safari, but I've had the best success with them using Google Chrome from their iPhones or their iPads. Yeah. So you definitely want to practice with your customer or with your speaker, whoever you're sharing with, and you always want to verify, are you using an Apple product or are you using a standard Microsoft product, because you need to qualify this beforehand. Because I made the mistake, I invited somebody in, she thought she could pop in on her phone, hadn't told her she couldn't pop in on her phone, and it was like, well, that was a cute thing. So we postponed ourselves for 15 minutes, got ourselves resituated and started.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You know, you can come into this broadcast room at any time, like before your live video is going on, and actually practice with your guests. And I recommend that as well. You know, as much as we try to do our due diligence, I always invite people to show up at least 10 minutes beforehand. I send the information to them ahead of time to make sure that they're set up, offer them the option to practice. And you'll still have people who, you know, life gets in the way and they don't get to it. And then something happens with your broadcast and you have to reschedule it. You know, it's all a learning process. So
you know, it's like we should have shirts. Life gets in the way, but I succeed anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, over here on this side, if people are posting comments, then the host, who is Carla, can pull them up across the screen. So if anybody's watching right now, I want you to start leaving comments for Carla, and then when I come back off of sharing this screen, we can look at some of those.
I actually posted one here, Marla.
Oh, did you?
I just went into comments, and this is the one I tagged you in on the comments in Facebook. And so it comes out with my picture and Marla, but then Marla tagged her team. So now Marla's face is there. And so then we could do that. You know,
cool. I'm not messing with flipping back and forth, so I'm staying in my system to share.
Yeah, that's why we're working together here.
Yeah. So now banners, those banners that Carla just did, you can come in here and create your own. So I do a couple of lives a day, or I do one at 8:30 every morning. In any way, you can see that I'm going to show one of them. And what it is I put in the name of my vlog, which is in spite of, and then today's topic was resiliency in opinion-rich world. And I put down how people can connect with me. And so I leave that up the whole time because I'm not entertaining comments or responding, because I'm an extemporaneous stream of consciousness speaker. You know, I go in with my points and then it kind of gets a little crazy. So I just pick it one time, but you can change these around. So I have another one that I could show. And so I talk about home-based businesses on 3 other days of the week and how to pick one. How do you just know you're getting the right one? So those are my banners that I change the title on every day, but I put those up during my blogs and just let them stay. So but you could have multiple ones like Carla's doing. Pardon me?
What I do, and actually you can go in ahead of time and prepare for your broadcast, create all of your banners. You can save them in a file titled, today I was StreamYard tutorial. And so when that broadcast comes up, I just go into that file and all of my banners are there ready to go. So you don't have to be deleting them and redoing them. And I like the banners because it keeps me on track when I'm talking, and it keeps my viewer connected visually and by listening to what I have to say. And that's a really great tool that you can actually save them. So I was thrilled to find that the other day.
And you can also set them as a banner. And you can have them ticker tape. Not everybody likes ticker tape, but I don't know if y'all see, I have one running across mine now that says Carla Rocks.
Oh, no. How did you do that?
Okay.
I didn't know that.
All right. So first of all, in order to change that, I have to come in here. It's already showing. So I'm going to click off the show. I hide it. And then I come over here where I can get my little edit button. It's being a little... let me take off that one. It's being a little weird for me here. My buttons aren't working. Here's my edit button. So I've got my edit. And it says Carla Rocks. And right across down below it, it says scroll across the bottom. So I have the option to scroll it or not. A lot of people don't like scrolls. But you know, if you got something just really funky you want to put out there, you could do that. And then I save it. And then I tell it to show, and now it's running.
Just like this. Very good.
And so I'm glad I showed you something there, Carla.
You've done a few things already today. That's awesome.
And then the other thing is the brand. So you'll notice on Carla's screen, she has the StreamYard duck, because we want to show you what's going on and that we're in StreamYard. But I have a logo, and when you're watching Carla's video, she's got her logo up there, which is EcoZone Socks. Is that right? Or
it's Carla Archer helping you work on your wellness. I've got one for when we did Canva yesterday. We're going to have a different one for tonight. So that's something else that you can save your branding, depending on what you're talking about, what you're doing.
Right. So I have one for my new blog that I'm doing. It looks like my Vitality Mentor one is gone, but it's very easy to upload. You click the upload, you go out to your pictures, you pull it in, and you're ready to go. And then you choose, depending on the broadcast that you're going to do, which logo you want showing.
Now the logos, that is the Pro Pack. That doesn't come with the free. With the free, you'll just get the StreamYard. But you can still change your colors, and you get the banners for free. So you can create that just without a logo. And just the brand color, when you click on that,
you've got all the color choices you want.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can change it. I'm kind of wanting to, I've forgotten to write down the number of the yellow, so I'm not going to switch it out right now.
Hey, you know what, Marla, go up to the top and just drop down and create a new one that you can muck around in.
Oh, sure. So you can come up here. There's brand one. That's where I'm always working, which is my Vitality Mentor brand. But I could come down in here and I could do a new brand, and it's 𝗪𝗲𝗱. And I could come in here and then I could pick a brand color of a blue. Not too sure I found a good one, but let's just say.
And then you can drag around in the color template and try, and it'll move around and show you the blues coming up there too.
Right. So you can notice that it changed the color around my name. And then if I wanted to come in here, I could actually upload a picture of 𝗪𝗲𝗱. I have one here somewhere. Oh, well, we'll give it the knee brace, whatever. We'll give it the knee brace. And I'm going to tell it to show, and there's the knee brace in the upper corner.
Right.
So let's say you're doing a conversation about the knee brace and the value of it. Maybe you just want to have the product up there. You're not worried about it. But I could go into Canva, which is the training that Carla did yesterday, and I could write on that if I wanted to and make it logo-like. Mm-hmm. But we don't want to change the logo on a company product. So you'd have to say Vox Therapy if you did anything with that one. But it's doable. It's all doable. Then that's the brand. And then down here, it's got overlay. This is another thing with the brand. So when you are running StreamYard, now because mine's scheduled, I still have that little sign up there, scheduled. But it's got the StreamYard logo at the top, and down there at the bottom, it's got StreamYard Live Show. But if I wanted to turn that one off, I have one that I'm not finding. Mine's gone. Oh, I know why mine's gone, because I'm not in. Here's one that I use for the Vitality Mentor. At the top, it says the Vitality Project. In the bottom right, it's reminding everybody that I have a YouTube channel, and I ask them to subscribe. Right. If I want to, I can just pop in a face over the screen. So overlays it's a tool and it's a skill. They have a great video to teach you how to do it. So the one thing I love about StreamYard is they have wonderful, wonderful training. And if you just go through all of them, it takes you less than a half an hour to get a great overview, and then you go back and start picking them apart.
Right.
Yeah. And then they have the background. So for on Carla's, you will see two pictures. She's got a background behind that. As a single picture, I have no background, but if I had someone to share it with, I can. And
so maybe I'll just show here, Marla, on mine, because there's two of us. You can change the view depending on what you want to show. Did I kick you out of sharing?
No. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's what those bottoms along the bottom underneath Marla's picture will do for you, that you can change the view just like I was showing there by clicking on them.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop my share, I think, and come back to you. Yeah. And so this is fun. We've got some comments out there, so that's nice.
And just don't be scared to move around in there. There's going to be an area where you can go and take a look at your account too. That's where you can, maybe I'll just pop into mine for half a second.
Oh, here. You know what? I was going to show one thing, how to get out. I forgot to show them how to close out of their thing.
Okay, well, just tap.
But you can do that. Yeah, it's real easy.
So up here in the corner, you can see my account, and you can go in here and see your billing, see what level you're at. You can see what the pro packages cost. If you want to refer this program to somebody, you can click on here and you can invite them directly. You can take a copy of your invite link as well and send that to them. There's frequently asked questions are found under here too, and a lot of really great information. And you can always contact them too, and they message through Messenger on Facebook, and they're great to deal with that as well, and they're really quick. And then this is where you would log out under my account as well.
So just as a tip, it's very easy to get your security code log in each time, but actually I don't log out. And even Gage, the owner of the company, these guys, they're kids. I mean, I'm 71. They're kids. They're under 30. They've come up with this. They're really great. So when you listen to their videos to learn how to do this, you'll enjoy it. And he says you'll need a code, but he says security's pretty good. I just don't log out very often. So it's up to you if you want to log in each time. It's not a challenge because you're really working off of their server.
Right.
And so the only other thing that you really want to pay attention to is that you do have good internet service. If you don't want, because it's your service that's really going to drive the ability for you to get the good captures and to keep the speed up and to not have slowdowns. Nothing else is done here. It's all an internet-based browser service. So
and if you are sharing videos outside of this, you may want to even just let your family know that you are going to be going live, and that if they could not be drawing any extra, depending on what kind of a package you have or what your situation is, then you're going to have the best quality to be able to share with other people. And that's always important. You know, there are times I go back and watch and go, geez, it was lagging a little for whatever reason, but we know that happens. But try to make as best of effort as you can.
Right.
So one more thing I should mention is, say we were going to end our live, there's going to be a box up in the corner that you can click on that says end your live. But let your guests know that they can remain, because when you end your live, it stops feeding, but you stay in this broadcast room. And then we could just kind of do a little wrap up about how we thought the interview went and how we go about sharing that on our own group pages or whatever the case may be.
And whether you click it or not, let's say you set YouTube and you set Facebook for your posts, StreamYard holds your video for 7 days. So if something happened, you didn't like it. But let me just tell you the big plus. You gave some of the stuff in the beginning, Carla, about how you used to do it. I used to try to use Vimeo. I used to try to use Zoom. And then I tried to use the thing on my iPhone so that I could edit. And it's the editing that's the challenge. And if you're really willing to just be open, shareable, and just be as ready to go as you possibly can, I love this because there's no editing.
Yes. And I love it because I feel like it's fun. I love the banners. I love that I can change things up, and it feels very professional to me, but not so professional that nobody else can do it. It just takes it to the next level. It's like dressing it up a little bit.
And it really is a system that you can build confidence very, very quickly. So if anybody's out there saying, oh, that's so good, they did that, but I can't, I'm going to challenge you that you can. I want you to give yourself 7 days, and you tell us online what you're afraid of doing, and we'll let you know how easy it is to get beyond that. Because you guys, I'm going to challenge you. I'm 71. If I can figure it out, you can.
Yeah. And me, I'm not super techie. I'm getting better. But even today, I learned 2 new things from Marla. And yesterday, I learned something new. The day before was something else. So it's kind of fun and exciting. It's like a little treasure chest of excitement in StreamYard. And it's really given me the confidence to get in front of my audience a lot more, get more comfortable doing my lives. And now that you shared today that recording option, well, heck, you can come in here and just practice away and get yourself comfortable without the fear of having to go live.
Right. And, you know, it's kind of hard to talk to yourself. I mean, maybe you talk to yourself in the mirror in the morning when you say, oh, my hair sucks, or you do something like that. But when you really see yourself trying to put a presentation together on a video, if you're really self-conscious, you'll off-put yourself pretty easily. So get used to talking to yourself in your video and quit worrying about what your hair looks like. One thing I will say, they don't see drool, so you're good.
Oh yeah, and one other tip, what you're seeing on the screen is opposite. So if you go to try to fix your hair, go the other way. Yeah, but I think we're going to come on again, Marla, in the future and just take it another step forward and show them how they can use that online presentation and move in and out. But this just gives you sort of the basics. Get an account, get in here, play around a little bit, watch some of the videos like Marla recommended, and have some fun with it. And we can't wait to see your videos.
Yeah, that'll be fun to see. And thank you, Carla, for having me on.
No, well, thanks for doing this with me, Marla. And I so appreciate that you introduced this to me in the first place, because it's exactly what I was looking for, and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.